the planet Mars. In fact, there's a spacecraft on its way to explore Mars right now. And we've had some Mars rovers on the surface for several years. So let's build a spacecraft. May I have a volunteer? Oh, right here. Would you step up? Oh, you can leave that for the moment. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to stand like that. Okay, this is the spacecraft bus. Now, a spacecraft bus is not a bus that you catch. It's the underlying structure, it's like the backbone to which we attach the rest of the rover. So it's the actual structure of the actual rover that's going to go out and explore. Now, what we do as scientists and engineers is we have some questions. Is there life on Mars is one big question. Was there life on Mars? That's an interesting question. How do we actually answer it? Well, if there were things that would jump out and say, I'm here, would you jump for a minute and say, I'm here? Go ahead. So, jump and say, I'm here.
I'm here.
Oh, see, there's a party friend. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, is it? So what we have to do, we have to be very smart. And you look very smart to me. And he looks very tired here with his arm. we better get some parts to attach to him. Now, a very smart engineer would try to figure out what could we send to Mars to get an answer about whether life is on Mars. So what we need to do is look on this wheel and say, is there anything on this wheel that might help us think about that you see, that comes to mind, that would help us in the strategy of thinking? Who sees something on there that might help? What is your name? Dr. Georgina here. What's one thing that jumps to mind on that wheel that might help? It's hard to know where to get started, isn't it? So let me try a suggestion. Place your hand like this. Get your pointer finger ready. Cover your eyes and... Okay. What did it land on?
Communicate findings.
Communicate findings. Of course, have we found anything yet?
No.
However, we could put an instrument that could communicate the findings. What would communicate the findings from Mars to Earth?
Radio.
A radio. So, would you go find a radio out there? Yeah, anyone. I mean, anywhere. Okay, we need a radio. Oh, I see. You're going for the actual radio. Well, I meant there's a radio out here among all these people. Oh, there's one right. Well, no, you've been up there. Let's see. Oh, here's one right here. Sorry, Dr. Georgina. Now, a radio is basically a satellite that is sending signals back to Earth, right? And of course, we're sending signals to it. So it's sort of a combination. It's got to receive the signal. Looks like it's got a nice receiver there. And it's also got to send something out. So would you see if you can guide this radio in the actions of sending a signal? What do you think? What is your name? What should the Vanessa radio do? Maybe this. Any ideas? Any ideas? Yes. Oh, there you go. And what is your name? Dr. Patricia, on Georgina's team here, has contributed an excellent idea. All right? Now, let's attach you right here. There. That will help. You can go ahead and relax right there. Oh, yeah. Wow. He's determined. All right. So let's see how the signal works. Go ahead. All right. Let's test it. Let's see if it's gonna fall apart or not. Let's shake the whole thing. Okay, ready? Let's shake it. Looks like it's going to work. What else do we need, Dr. Georgino? So, that was communicating findings. So we're going to pick up signals and communicate. What do we want to communicate about? What did you land on? Find out what's already known. Oh, that's a good one. All right. Would you step up here? And get right in here. We'll get the spacecraft bus relaxing his arms a little bit. All right, so this was the idea of finding out what's already known. All right, so that means probably a computer that has a lot of information. And one thing that's interesting about finding life on a place like Mars is we do know that it used to be covered with water. Could you show the water? Yeah. And if water is on the surface long enough, it can create sediments. And if there was life there, we might find fossils in the sediments. So what we're looking now for is something that would find layers in rocks that could be communicated back to Earth. What would seed the layers in the rocks? Yes? That sounded good. One more time. Step right up. We're going to turn Dr. Georgina into a drill and analyzer. Would you place her to be a drill and analyzer? And how would this, she kind of is tucked away, how is she going to get to the rock? I've got an idea, but you've got an idea. What's your idea? And how would you keep it connected and yet be outside? What do we have that can do that? A robotic. Would you be the robotic arm? And would you be on the end of the robotic arm as? And well, yeah. There. Now, so yeah. Okay. Now, when he pulls in, you go back. Go ahead. Try it. And when he pushes out, you go out. Now, you're a drill. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Retract that bionic arm. Robotic arm. All right. So we've got something to look at. Oh, wait a minute. How are we going to get that information into the computer that can be sent back to Earth? If she drills, that's fine. But what are we going to do to record it? Yes. A satellite. Well, that's what the, yeah. A microscope? Did I hear someone say microscope? Camera. What if we combine a satellite and a microscope? Would you come up? This is the fastest spacecraft in history here. All right. So here's what I'd like you to do. Okay. If she's drilling and analyzing, we have one more robotic arm here. Yeah. And so you can be a micro imager, meaning